Straight up, Teresa Marie Halbach is alive and well and watching me now. That's it. Anybody that believes that Teresa Marie Halbach was murdered by Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are stupid. That's it. Candace Owens, how would you like to host Stephen Avery versus Kenneth R. Kratz in a mock trial? Ooh, that sounds juicy, doesn't it, huh? Candace Owens, your channel. How would you do if you sat down and filmed Stephen Avery, Kenneth R. Kratz, head to head? Think of that? I'd mull it over. Hey, Kratz, you and Candace Owens there, why don't you go head to head with Stephen Avery? You want to do that? Huh? Live television? Stream? Huh? Kratz? How's your chance? Come on. Stephen Avery will whip your ass. Stephen Avery will fuck you up, Kratz. Oh, you don't want to do that. No. You want to fuck with other lawyers and lawyers and lawyers and lawyers back and forth and lawyers, but you don't want to go with Kenneth R. Kratz versus Stephen Avery. You won't do it. I will guarantee that you won't do it. Stephen Avery, offer Kenneth R. Kratz the opportunity to engage in, relive his fame, okay? And instead of buting and straying, you. Yeah. Instead of Zellner, you. Get all the lawyers out of the way, and it's just you two. Stephen Avery, Kenneth R. Kratz, head to head in a mock trial. Yeah, there you go. You were so arrogant that you sent Stephen Avery a letter offering him a book deal. Well, maybe he should take you up on that. Hey, Stephen. Yeah. Here's your situation. You are going up to appeals and post-conviction and all this bullshit, quagmire. Bullshit is what it is. Straight up. No. You drop all that shit. You tell Zellner to kiss your ass. You tell her to turn over her treasury and put it on your fucking books, dude, okay? You own that bitch. What you do, Steve, instead of that, you fire Zellner first, and second, you press charges against her for defrauding the government. She's defrauding the government, Steve, and you're in cahoots with it. When she sits there and says Stephen Avery says that the draft floor is blue, you're lying, Steve. When your attorney lies and you don't tell her not to lie, then you're lying too. And you're defrauding the government on your own freaking conviction. Think of that. Now, us people out here, okay? We have a legitimate claim. And our claim as taxpayers is we're being ripped off by the courts in Manawak and Calumet County and the state of Wisconsin. They're ripping our taxpayers off, paying for Steve and Brendan's stay in prison. They're ripping us off. As a matter of fact, Kenneth R. Kratz, Norm Gahn, and Tom Fallon are and another guy, their theatrics in court, and they were paid for, was ripping us off because they were defrauding the court. Defraud the court. That's right. Defrauding the court. And that's a crime. And we as taxpayers, citizens of the United States, have a claim that we can press charges against all the lawyers. All the lawyers. If you're a lawyer and you work on this case, you're fucked. Every single lawyer that even touched this case can be sued. Kratz, you want to take on Stephen Avery? Well, let me ask you this question. If a Hallbox got the color of their daughter's vehicle, dark green, wrong, and it was actually blue, then how did Stephen Avery side with the family, saying that the RAV4 that he saw Teresa drive up in with the license plate Sam William Hemming 582 attached to the vehicle, 6P3 deep jewel green, that was impounded on the 3rd of November and ended up being parked at Quick Mart in Cleveland, Wisconsin, impounded across the street and across the street kitty corner to Cleveland Auto Salvage, or AKA Manawha County Impound Yard. Those plates that Coburn called in on was sitting on a 6P3 deep jewel green RAV4, the one that Stephen Avery saw, and was impounded into Cleveland Auto Salvage, owned by Robert Herman, the undersheriff of Manawha County Sheriff's Department. Okay? So those plates were taken off of that vehicle, crumpled three times by Lieutenant Todd Herman, and Todd Herman took it from Cleveland Auto down to Avery's Auto Salvage and threw them in the back of a station wagon. That's where those plates came from. Robert and Todd Herman, Cleveland Auto Salvage, Manawha County Sheriffs, both of them, Undersheriff and Lieutenant, brought those plates to Avery Auto Salvage Yard. Those plates, Sam William Hemming 582, were never on the 760/K95 two-tone RAV4 that you found on Avery Auto Salvage Yard that Teresa Marie Hallbach owned. But those plates were never on that vehicle. Those plates were on the decoy vehicle. Kratz, you're a pathological liar. You can't help but lie. It's in your nature. And all we have to do is write down a list of all your lies as prosecutor and charge you with defrauding the court in securing Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey's conviction. That's criminal. Criminal. Now, whether or not you go to prison is immaterial. The fact of the matter is that you're going to have to use statute of limitations. Well, guess what? There's a little something with that statute of limitations. Statute of limitations only comes into play after they figured out that the crime was committed. Then they have that's when the clock starts, not when the crime was actually committed. It's when the courts find out about it and they have time to do something. If they don't do something within that time frame, well, then I guess you get off. But it doesn't really matter. The matter is that you're going to have to hide behind statute of limitations. You can sign your John Hancock down here and waive the statute of limitations. Yeah? Are you so much that and a bag of chips? You believe this case when you know damn well you fucking framed their ass, and we know it too, or at least some of us know it. I know it. Go ahead. I want you to do a couple of things. Number one, write out an agreement, Stephen Avery, write out an agreement that they're going to go head to head on this case. Stephen Avery will represent himself as himself. And Stephen Avery will use color codes. And you're fucked. You're fucked. If Stephen Avery uses color codes, and he will, he'll have a color code cheat sheet right here. And Stephen Avery is going to ask you about the 63 deep deal green that he saw that went up in the Cleveland Auto Salvage in the care of Robert Herman, the undersheriff of Manawha County. He has the keys, all right? He's got the vehicle that was loaned by Lemieux Toyota to Teresa. Yeah. And then afterwards, they just gave it back to Lemieux Toyota and they sold it. Yep. That's what happened. And you're stuck with the blue one. And it can be proven by Stephen Avery in a mock trial. Now, the things I want you to do is A, sign off, waive statute of limitations. That means that you can be charged and tried for your performance in that court of law, Manawha County Court. You did fraud at Manawha County Court. That's what you did. Statute of limitations. Want that gone. Yeah. You're fucked. You're fucked. Now, hell hath no fury than a woman's scorn. You conned Candace Owens in her breakout fucking video. And come to find out, Candace Owens lied. She didn't know she lied, but she lied. Yeah. And I think that's when she finds out how much she lied in that documentary of hers. And they made money on it. They're defrauding the people with the deception in her video. And I think Kathleen T. Zellner's got her ass fucking in the fryer. She's compromised. If she comes up with the 2 wrap bores with the parts wrap bore off to the side, and changes her tune, then all her lies in court will be exposed and she'll get sued for misrepresenting Stephen Avery. Yeah, she'll get sued by Stephen Avery for legal malpractice, okay? So, no, she's not going to want to do color codes. No, she's not going to admit that Manawha County Sheriff Department impounded the dark green RAV4 that Stephen Avery saw and it ended up in Herman's yard. And she's not going to say that that's a different vehicle that Calumet County impounded on the 5th. Okay? They're all looking for a green RAV4, all of a sudden a blue RAV4 shows up. There's 2 RAV4s. People will sit there and argue nail and tooth and nail till the sun goes down. There's only one RAV4. Even though in the documentations there are 2 RAV4s with parts and pieces according to the photographs of a 3rd RAV4 as a parts vehicle. Stephen Avery can prove that there's 3 RAV4s involved in this caper, which means that this was planned and staged event, not Stephen Avery, I'm going to go kill somebody. All of a sudden just pop a fuse when he's about ready to go to court to get $36 million fucking dollars. Between Stephen Avery going off and fucking killing Teresa Mihalbach, it's who didn't pay out the $36 million. Aha! $36 million is a hell of a motive, you know what I mean? Kratz, you defrauded the court. Stephen Avery can walk tomorrow. If Stephen Avery petitioned the court, fraud upon the court. Kratz has got fraud upon the court, fraud upon the court, fraud. I'm up to my fucking ears in fraud upon the court in this case. The whole damn thing's fraudulent. That Stephen Avery can walk tomorrow if he just says fraud upon the court. Fraud upon the court makes court order void, as if never issued. Okay? No further legal effect. But will Stephen Avery do that? No. He's over there trying to get the RAV to get some DNA off of it for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Okay? Stephen Avery at this point right now is incapable of his own fucking defense. Stephen Avery believes Teresa's dead, even though there's 2 RAV4s, even though all this shit. The fact of the matter is that Teresa ain't dead. Teresa can't be dead. If Teresa was dead, number 1, what's Herman doing with her car? Herman killed Teresa. Manawha County Sheriff's Department killed Teresa. Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey did not kill Teresa. So if Teresa's dead, Manawha County Sheriff's Department did it. If Manawha County Police Sheriff's Department killed Teresa, they would just roll her body up onto the fucking Stephen Avery's porch steps and leave her laying there. Not a tooth. Molar, okay? One of your molars. You wouldn't have cadaver dogs running around the burn pit where Teresa was incinerated and not fucking hit on it. The cadaver dog did not hit on the fire pit. Teresa was not burned in the fire pit. If Teresa was burned in the fire pit, the cadaver dogs would hit on the fire pit. It's that fucking simple. That's what the dogs were for. But no, the dogs go all over the fucking place looking for fucking shit, having a heyday. Oh, goody, goody, goody. My owner gets to take me out for a walk. That's about it. Now, you got away with it for a while, Kratz. But are you going to rescind that offer that you made to Stephen to write a book? Stephen's down for engaging in writing a book with you. Yeah, Stephen will use color codes and photographs and prove that you lied. You doctored the fucking picture that Teresa was standing next to her vehicle in Voyager Park. Okay. I mean, there's a green version, now there's a blue version, there's two versions, and you said that you wasn't going to present the green version in the court, but you will present it later on after you doctor the fuck out of it and make it more blue. You see, what you're trying to do is have the green vehicle, the blue vehicle, and the blue vehicle, the green vehicle, and have them both the same vehicle when Teresa was driving the decoy vehicle and Bobby planted Teresa's rapport. That's what happened. Bobby was asked to help Teresa Halbach escape. Teresa asked Ryan to help her escape, and Ryan says, I'll help you escape. Or Ryan says, you're fucking leaving because I don't want to pay child support. And you're going to go into court with these these photos, pornographic photos of Teresa Halbach engaged in her own work. That's going to court and become public record. Teresa has to leave. Okay? So anyway, the only way she's going to leave is to have to kill her. Hey, we got Stephen Avery's a problem over here. We're going to fucking set his ass up. Kasork wanted to nail Stephen. Herman said, fuck you, Kasork. We're not going to nail Stephen. What's so fucking hard to figure out about that? People want Teresa to be dead. They won't even consider that she may still be alive. Why? Because it doesn't help their channel grow. That's why. And they'll look like they're looking out for themselves. What would I look like if I went out here and became one of those, deniers, a truther, weird. So they won't even consider the possibility. I myself look at the evidence. And I allow the evidence to take me where it will. Truth. So, we have a pathological liar, Kenneth R. Kratz, and we have Stephen Avery, which is a liar, because he's going to court and he's petitioning the court on a blue RAV4 because Zellner tells him to. And Stephen Avery is lying when he goes to court. Stephen Avery, therefore, can be charged with defrauding the court. And even if he gets his conviction overturned or vacated, voided, like you void a check for fraud. Well, guess what? They're going to charge Stephen Avery for fraud because Zellner keeps putting up fraud. Stephen Avery is in cahoots with Zellner defrauding the court. And he's defrauding the court against his own self-best interest. Kathleen T. Zellner is a wicked-ass bitch. She's fucking evil as fuck. She's evil. She's covered her own ass because she took the case on and it became Netflix sensation, and she's stuck with one thing and come to find out it's something else, and she can't change. Because if she changes, then she's going to admit that I've been defrauding the court. And she's looking out for the best interest of her own agency, because Stephen Avery can sue her for everything she got in his name and everything she got, period. He's the new owner of Zellner and Associates, okay? Dean Strain can't admit that there's two rapports. Jerome Buting can't admit that there's two rapports. Kathleen T. Zoner cannot admit there's two rapports. Laura Nyrider, Stephen Dresden cannot admit that there's two rapports. Actually three, but two, good enough. All right? More than one, that's all we need. They can't do it because Stephen Avery has a legitimate lawsuit against them for legal misrepresentation. Legal misrepresentation. Legal malpractice. They can all be sued. They're covering all their fucking asses because they were stupid when they went in and they didn't call Lemieux, Toyota, and have him figure it out for them. Okay? So, come on, Ken. People, Stephen Avery offered Ken and on a mock trial. Ken will refuse. Ken will refuse. Ken refuses, you know. Ken's not going to take him up on it. Ken, you know that I'll consult with Stephen Avery, and you know that he will kick your ass because all he's going to do is concentrate on the RAV4. No burn pit, no bones, no DNA, no EDDA, whatever the fuck, okay? No hood latch shit, no key, fuck all that. Just the RAV4 from beginning to end. We're going to find out what happened to these RAV4s from beginning to end. The RAV4 that Stephen Avery is trying to get DNA on, yeah, that's been scrapped and sent to fucking Japan, okay? It don't exist anymore. The records prove that it was sold and scrapped. You're not going to get any DNA off of a scrap vehicle, okay? It comes back as a fucking fork. It's not there no more. So get the fuck off of it. The only thing that's left is the photos. And the photos tell the story. Ken, in front of all the entire nation, the world, you're going to refuse to sign a waiver. Statute of limitations. Yeah. You're going to refuse to go head to head with Stephen Avery. Just you and him in one room, hosted by Candace Owens. Yeah. Stephen Avery's going to call a witness. One witness only. He's going to call Don Lemieux at Toyota and ask Don what the fuck is going on at Lemieux. And Don's going to say, well, she drove off the lot with a 6P3 deep jewel green that we loaned her under the table, and she bought a 760 Mystic Teal Mica, and we shipped it to Cleveland Auto for long-term storage, waiting for the day. And that's exactly the way it went. I know it. The world knows it. You know it. And so does Steve. You're fucked.